It's like sometimes you just hear about something, you're like, wait a minute, this is brilliant. It's like two of my favorite things coming together. Why hasn't anyone thought of this before?
You're talking about that sweet spot where passion meets purpose.
Exactly. And that's kind of what today's deep dive is all about. We're looking at this announcement, right, for the 2025 Children's Fund Golf Tournament. It's hosted by the Rotary Club of Hamilton, but here's the thing. Get this. They're merging two, huge tournaments into one mega event.
I see what you mean about brilliant. It's not just like a bigger party. Think about the numbers. If each tournament was reaching, let's say, 500 people before, now they could be looking at, 1,000 or more. The impact is exponential.
And wouldn't that also mean sponsors are more likely to come on board when they see that kind of potential reach, right?
Yeah.
So we've got the Rotary Fall Classic and the CHML Children's Fund Tournament, and they're joining forces. What are the advantages there, would you say?
Well, right off the bat, they're tapping into two totally different networks. You've got the Rotary folks, business leaders, that whole crowd. And then you've got everyone connected to CHML. So, boom, their potential donor pool is doubled overnight. Plus, they can share resources, maybe even cut down on costs, which means more money going straight to the cause.
And that cause is the Children's Fund Christmas Tree of Hope.
Oh.
I've always been so impressed by the work they do for families here in Hamilton, especially during the holidays.
Oh, absolutely. And, it's about so much more than just gifts, right? It's about creating a sense of community, letting families know they're not alone, especially during a time that can be tough.
And talk about reach. They've got Chorus Radio on board, Energy 95.3, Y108, the works. That's some serious media power behind this thing.
It's smart. Media partnerships are key, especially for an event like this. Think about it. You're driving in your car, hear a radio ad, see something on your social media feed, and it sparks your interest. It's all about getting the word out, building that momentum, which ultimately translates into more support for the Christmas Tree of Hope.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. This isn't just about charity, right? Gourmet food, they've got contests, rubbing elbows with Rotarians. It sounds like a pretty good time, even if you're not a diehard golfer.
You're not wrong. They've really created an experience here, something that goes way beyond just hitting the links. It's about networking, some friendly competition, and just enjoying the day. Who wouldn't want to be a part of that?
Gourmet food, networking. Are we sure this is for charity? Just kidding. But seriously, what kind of impact does the Christmas Tree of Hope actually have on families?
Oh, it's huge. For some families, this program is literally what makes the holidays happen. It's providing gifts, essential items, taking a huge weight off their shoulders. Imagine being a parent, struggling to make ends meet, and then suddenly there's this program that takes away some of that stress and allows them to focus on enjoying time with their kids. It's powerful stuff.
It's really amazing. It's so easy to get caught up in the big picture, but sometimes it's these hyper-local efforts, boots on the ground, that have the most immediate impact.
100%. And what's interesting is this tournament becomes a microcosm of that very idea. You've got all these individuals coming together, playing golf, having fun, but collectively their participation translates into the significant positive impact on others.
I could already picture myself out there on the green, totally missing the ball, but knowing it's for a good cause.
That's the spirit. And speaking of getting involved, there are a few different ways to be a part of this. You can, of course, register a team. Mark your calendars at September 18th, 2025.
September 18th. Got it. What else?
You can also sponsor a whole, which is great if you're a business or organization looking to support the event and maybe get a little visibility too. Or if you're not a golfer, there's always volunteering. They always need extra hands to make sure everything runs smoothly.
It's really cool how they emphasize every little bit counts. You don't have to be a big-time donor or a golf pro to make a difference.
Exactly. It's that collective effort that really drives change. It's realizing that we all have the power to contribute in our own way to something much bigger than ourselves.
Okay, so we've got this amazing tournament, the Children's Fund doing incredible work, the Rotary Club pulling out all the stops. But let's talk about the Rotary Club itself for a moment.
It's important to understand the bigger picture, right? Their commitment to service goes way beyond this golf tournament.
They're always up to something, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, they're busy. Literacy programs, environmental sustainability, international development, you name it. They've got their hands in a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, it's more than just fundraising. It's about finding ways to actually make Hamilton a better place to live for everyone. I'm looking at their website now, and they've got events on everything from eradicating poverty to exploring the history of local architecture. It's like they're experts at connecting people with, those opportunities to really engage with the community in a meaningful way.
That's a great way to put it. It's about fostering that sense of belonging, that shared responsibility, that we all have a role to play in building a thriving community.
So if someone's listening and thinking, hey, this sounds pretty cool, I want to learn more, what's the best way to do that?
Definitely check out their website. It's packed with information about all their programs, upcoming events, and how to get involved.
It's like a one-stop shop for all things Rotary in Hamilton.
Exactly. And you never know, you might discover a new interest, connect with a cause you're passionate about, all because you took a look around.
So, to recap, we've got this incredible tournament, the Children's Fund doing amazing things, media partners spreading the word, all sorts of ways to get involved. But here's the big question. What does all this mean for you, dear listener? Why should you care?
Well, this isn't just about a golf tournament. It's about recognizing that we all have this power, to contribute to something larger than ourselves. It's understanding that even actions that seem small can have a ripple effect and make a real difference in someone's life.
It's about stepping up to the tee and taking a swing at making a difference, right?
100%. And while this particular event is all about golf, that underlying message is universal.
It's about finding that thing you're passionate about and then figuring out how to use it to create positive change in the world around you.
Exactly. Whether you're volunteering, donating, just raising awareness, we all have the capacity to be agents of change.
So as we wrap up this first part of our deep dive into the 2025 Children's Fund Golf Tournament, I'm left with this feeling of like, wow, anything is possible. If a group of people who love golf can come together and create this kind of impact, imagine what could happen if we all took our own passions and channeled them into similar initiatives.
I love that. It's a great thought, and it leads perfectly into a question for you, dear listener. If you could design a charity event that combined your passions, what would it be? What cause would you get behind?
Ooh, that's good. Would it be a bake-off for animal shelters? A gaming marathon for education? The possibilities are endless.
Right, and that's the beauty of it, Whether your idea is huge or super simple, it has the potential to make a real difference. The important thing is tapping into what inspires you and letting that be your guide.
So that's our challenge to you, listener. Start brainstorming. What unique skills or talents or interests do you have that you could use to support a cause you believe in? Don't be afraid to get creative. Think outside the box.
You never know what amazing things you might come up with.
And hey, if you're in the Hamilton area and looking for a way to jump into action right now, remember to check out the Rotary Club of Hamilton's website.
You'll find everything you need to know about the 2025 Children's Fund Golf Tournament, how to get involved, and all the amazing work the Rotary Club is doing year-round.
Get ready to tee up some good and drive some change into the world.
We'll be back soon to continue our deep dive. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep making a difference.
So we've been talking about this golf tournament and, all the good it does for families in Hamilton. But I want to dig a little deeper into the Children's Fund Christmas Tree of Hope. What are some of the specific things they do to help out during the holidays?
Well, like we were saying before, it goes beyond just, gifts under the tree. They offer all kinds of support, like toys and clothes, of course, but also things like grocery gift cards, even help with utility bills. It's about making sure families can enjoy the holidays without, that extra financial burden.
It's like a safety net for families.
Yeah.
Catching them when they need it most, especially during what should be a happy time.
Exactly. And what I think is really amazing is that they tailor the support to what each family needs. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. They really try to understand everyone's situation and then provide the kind of assistance that'll be most helpful.
That personal touch can mean so much.
Yeah.
I bet there are tons of heartwarming stories about families who've been helped by the Christmas Tree of Hope. Have you come across any that really stick out in your mind?
There's one that comes to mind, actually. It was a single mom with 3 kids, and she was really struggling. She had a couple of jobs, but just couldn't seem to make ends meet. She was worried about Christmas for her kids. But then the Christmas Tree of Hope stepped in. They provided gifts for the kids, of course, and a grocery gift card, and even helped her out with her heating bill. And, she was just overwhelmed with gratitude. She said it was the first time in years that she felt like she could actually relax and enjoy the holidays with her kids.
It's stories like that.
Yeah.
It's so easy to talk about these things in a general way, but then you hear something like that and it just hits you. The real impact that this program has on people's lives.
And it makes you think about the ripple effect, too. You help a parent like that, and you're not just helping them, you're helping their kids have a brighter Christmas. You're giving the whole family a sense of hope.
Yeah, it's like investing in the future, one family at a time. And that brings us right back to this golf tournament. It's amazing to think that a day out on the green can lead to such meaningful support for families.
It really is. And I think that's what makes this event so inspiring. It's a reminder that we can all do something to help, no matter what our passions are or, what skills we have.
Let's say our listener is hearing all this and they're like, okay, I want to help, but I'm not a golfer.
Yeah.
What are some other ways they can get involved? With the Children's Fund, I mean, or the Rotary Club.
Volunteering is always a great option. And there's so many ways to do that, You could help with planning events or fundraising or even just spread the word about the work they do.
Yeah, and don't underestimate the power of just sharing information. Telling your friends and family about what they do. Social media is a great tool for getting the word out.
Absolutely. And of course, there's always the option to donate directly. Even a small amount can make a big difference.
So we've got volunteering, spreading the word, and donating. But let's go back to that question from before. If you could design your own charity event, combine your passions with a good cause, what would you do? I think I'd put together like a giant board game tournament to raise money for literacy programs.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. You've taken your love of board games and found a way to support a cause that obviously means a lot to you. Who knows, maybe that tournament will become a reality one day.
Well, a girl can dream. But really, what about you? What kind of event would you create?
That's a tough one. I'm a bit of a history buff, so maybe I'd organize a historical walking tour of Hamilton, highlighting some of the hidden gems, the stories and places that most people don't know about. And then all the proceeds would go towards historical preservation efforts in the city.
That's such a great idea. Educational, engaging, and it supports a good cause. You've got all the ingredients for a successful event right there.
Well, thank you. But the point is, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be something as simple as a bake sale or a car wash. The important thing is to find something you're passionate about and then figure out how to use that to make a difference.
So, listeners, we want you to brainstorm. What unique talents and interests do you have that you could use to support a cause that you believe in? Don't be afraid to think big and be creative. It's fun. We started out talking about this golf tournament, but it's really become about so much more. It's about community and generosity and, just realizing that we all have the power to make a difference, even in small ways.
Yeah, it's like that saying, a rising tide lifts all boats. When we support each other, when we invest in our community, it benefits everyone.
Exactly. And I think the Rotary Club of Hamilton really gets that. They're always looking for ways to bring people together and make a positive impact, whether it's through this tournament or their other projects or just, encouraging that spirit of service. They're really doing something special in Hamilton.
They are. They're a great example of what can happen when you have a group of people who are dedicated to making a difference. And what's really inspiring is that anyone can be a part of it. You don't have to be like a millionaire philanthropist or a big social media star to make a contribution.
That's so true. It's about finding your own way to give back. Maybe it's volunteering your time. Maybe it's donating to a cause you care about, or even just raising awareness about an issue that's important to you.
And sometimes it's just those little acts of kindness that we do without even thinking. Holding the door open for someone, lending a helping hand, or just listening with empathy. Those things might seem small, but they can really make a difference. They can create a more positive and compassionate community.
It's about remembering that we're all connected and that our actions, no matter how small, can have a positive impact on the people around us.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a challenge. Think about what brings you joy. What are you passionate about? And then ask yourself, how can I use this to make a difference?
Yeah, maybe it is organizing that board game tournament for literacy, or volunteering at a soup kitchen, or maybe it's just being a more mindful and compassionate person in your daily life. There are so many possibilities.
The important thing is to just take that first step. Don't be afraid to dream big, to think outside the box, and let your passion be your guide.
And if you're looking for a place to start, we always recommend checking out the Rotary Club of Hamilton's website. They've got all the information about the 2025 Children's Fund Golf Tournament, how to get involved with their other initiatives, and it's just a really great source of inspiration for anyone who wants to, give back to their community.
So go out there, make a difference, and remember, even a small swing can create ripples of positive change that spread throughout your community and beyond.
That's it for this episode of The Deep Dive. We'll be back next time with another fascinating topic. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep making the world a better place, one good deed at a time.